Hey folks, welcome to yet another build stream. Finally, it's time for another build stream. I've been really slacking on that front a little bit, and I'm glad I finally found the time to do a new build stream. Couple of things first. I have changed the camera arrangement, and you will notice that you will get a lot more of me getting into the picture. It's a bit annoying. Oh wait, maybe I can just, the problem is trying to get the camera to capture all that's important. Yeah, I might be playing around with that a little bit. Good thing is, with the new camera setup, we will be seeing less distortion in the picture. I'm using a GoPro for my live streaming, and the GoPro has basically three different settings for the angle of the picture, which is super wide angle, it's close to 180 degrees, normal wide angle, and the so-called narrow angle, which is something that comes close to what we would expect from a camera. Let me try to get this a bit further up. Yeah, so that's pretty nice. It's a bit further away from where I could get my head into the picture. So yeah, let's get to what I'm going to be building. I'm going to be building the so-called Rama M65. This is the very well designed, nice case of the Rama M65 -A. It's designed by Rama and distributed by J Chan, aka Keycap, and it is a very flashy design. And I thought the best switches to go along with this are these little friends here. Now this is something that I usually don't do. It's just not my cup of tea to put stems into other manufacturers' housings or experiment with that kind of stuff. I usually like to keep everything cherry and vintage and just add in some custom springs. But I got these switches on my Secret Santa, and yeah, well, it's R1 Zealios, and from what I've heard about R1 Zealios, and from what I could tell looking at the cases, first of all, they've got like an insane amount of wobble, which is off the charts, and second of all, they were known to have a strange material composition for the bottom housing, which was known to melt during soldering. I didn't want this to occur anyway. I also didn't like the material the top housing was made of. It was very brittle and generally offensive to my ears. Something that I would call it's China plastic. It's the kind of plastic that like these $1 or €1 tools you buy in the discounter store are made of, like these counterfeit Lego material. It's very cheap. I didn't like the sound at all. Now I have these very nice springs. I guess the springs are nice. I've got the springs and the stems in cherry housings. I did a nice loop job on the stems. I added some switch films to these switches, so there's some polycarbonate switch films to eliminate the last bit of wobble that we have between the cherry switch housing pieces. Very nice fit here. Black films, that's why you can hardly see them. You basically can't see them at all. You can see them in the back a little bit. There you go. Yeah. Alright, what did I go with? Black case, brass plate, nice PCB. Let's learn from our mistakes. I'm going to be checking this PCB. I already know the PCB works. Why do I know this? Because I already started this stream and I've been way past this point when I realized that my sound wasn't configured well. And I was doing a muted stream. So all the RGB LEDs are working. And yeah, I've already checked a couple of these switches. You can just go here, short some of these pads, and see if they register in your preferred tool of choice for checking switches. So we're set on that front. The layout is going to be my standard 65 layout, which is pretty much this layout. Oh, no, what am I talking about? This layout, nah, forget it. This bottom row with ISO enter and a split left shift. So a nice little, yeah, if you look at it like this, yeah, that's a 75 cut into a 65. Yeah, first thing first, stabilizers. This group buy came with GMK stabilizers. They're known as GMK stabilizers or GMK Screw-in stabilizers. They're actually cherry screw-in stabilizers. GMK just made them big by using them in a lot of their iconic keyboards, like the Waytags or the Skidata boards. So, yeah, ISO build, split right shift, split left shift. Very few stabilizers needed. Let's find out what we need here. This is going to be the ISO enter. This is going to be the backspace. Construction wise, I don't have too many complaints so far. We'll be looking at that a bit later when we when we come to the point. These screws. I really hope that. Oh yeah, it was shipped with screw-in stabilizers, so I will just assume that we won't be having any issues with the fit of the PCB when we use these stabilizers here. I don't think that we are shorting anything here. We are just touching one of the pads, which shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, some of you might remember my Tex Yoda 2 build where I was actually shorting some pins, and it was a totally different picture there. The screw head was actually touching two different contacts there. Very unpleasant, very embarrassing. Okay. Okay, damn it. Yeah. A lot of options here. Oh, very simple. I'm just going to hold it to my existing template bottom row, and we can tell that I found the right position for the stabilizers. I'm going to go with the same bottom row. 1.25, 1.25, 1.25, 6 1/4, 1.5, 1.5, and 3 times 1 unit. I really like how the screw-in stabilizers work with this PCB. They the screw ports already sit very tightly in the PCB cutouts. That's cute. I like it. I like where they have a tight fit, and adding the screw will just improve this feeling even more. Okay, yeah, I kind of ruined my thumb. That's been my like last 2 weeks excuse to not do any build videos, but it's good enough for me to do this video now. Get some things done. Show you how much I missed you all. Okay. Oh, where are my manners? I have to. Oh, wow, that's super bright. I'm so sorry. Trying to reduce the brightness here, the reflection. Okay, so from what I can tell, right, yeah, I already bent the first leg of a switch here. See? Okay, I have enough switches. I will look for this switch later on. I just want to get the bottom row done properly. Just want to make sure that everything's nice and dandy down there. It was actually fairly simple. Oh, caps lock. Stepped caps lock or non-stepped? I'm gonna be an old fart about it and go for the stepped caps. We've had this discussion in the chat, I think yesterday, stepped or non-stepped caps, and I think I just made up my mind. I'm a stepped caps kind of guy. It's the vintage cherry thing to do. Even though neither this keyboard nor these like these switches aren't vintage, keyboard isn't vintage, but my mindset is. Let's put it that way. Ooh. This is usually the loosest key in the bunch. I'm going to put this one in when I am starting soldering. This one's usually another bit of a problem switch. Oh, in this case it goes very well. Always depends on how tight the holes are for these PCB mount pins. Let's have a look here. Nope. It kind of looks odd. Nope, it's got to be right. Yep, it's got to be right. There's no way to move this just a little bit. I haven't built keyboards in so long. I hope I don't forget any basics, like I better check the chat and see if anyone's yelling at me. People are laughing at me for using Godspeed caps. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. But I'm a grown man and I can take it. So yeah, maybe this is usually a nice time to ramble a little bit. We don't have the soldering sounds yet, and this is going to take a moment. Yeah, what have I been doing recently? We've had a nice holiday season. Oh, let me try something. We've had a nice holiday season here. We've had a decent winter so far. It's been like cold, but not too cold. Cold enough for all the mosquitoes to die, but not cold enough to cause any serious trouble on the roads, for me at least. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it, like we get mosquitoes in winter time, like when it's like 6 or 7 degrees Celsius outside, you're gonna have like tons of mosquitoes out there. So some kind of it was a weird experience for me, because I was usually expecting to see mosquitoes in summertime. They usually won't show up until like August or late August, but then they would stay until you get some like properly cold weather. These damn little Eskimo mosquitoes. Eskimo mosquitoes. I bet they have like little igloos. Oh yeah, tell me how you like the new camera angle. I'm not sure if this is actually good or bad for the... like, I might be obsessed with good light a little bit, but I just can't figure out how to do it properly. I probably have to do some deflector level kind of stuff to get the light really nicely done here, a bit more indirect light and stuff like that. But for anything but streaming, the lights I have on my desk are currently really nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna grab a spacebar for that. I don't. And if you haven't read it in the description of this video yet, we will be putting some SA profile keycaps on this cute little keyboard. Let's see. Yep. Right here. Yep. There we go. Okay. Flip her over. Oh yeah, next up, soldering. But before that, I want to check the switch legs, the contacts. Two. Oh, bent. We've got a bent one down here. That already paid off. Two. I like getting like a bit of feedback, so I touch the pins, make sure I don't miss any, and make sure that I check them really well. Oh, another one. See, oh, much better. Zwei. Yep, looks good. Oh yeah, we've still got one switch missing. And that's the one we're going to need for this position here in a little bit. Okay, so soldering now. This one I'm going to put in when I get to soldering it. Or maybe I should solder it first. I'm still making things up as I go along. Here we go. Really enjoy this. I hope that this gets improved now with the new camera setup, but I'm not sure. Trusty old solder dispenser, and I've moved to a different soldering iron just to kind of use them up evenly. Oh wow, I sense a lot of thermal mass here. Or do I have to change the temperature setting on my iron? I might dial up the temperature a bit. Going to 350 Celsius, of course. If I keep getting my head into the frame, I might really change the camera angle back. I think it's very it's kind of disruptive for the viewer. You don't want to see that there's a head attached to these hands. it's a bit better, but I still feel like this keyboard has a bunch of thermal mass. So yeah, very nice. Probably because the contacts are all completely through hole. Not through hole, like they've got some thick vias. You always have to tell yourself it's a meditative task to solder these keyboards. Don't rush. Enjoy every joint that you solder. When I'm done with this and I'm doing my nice little push in routine, something's wrong here. Something's wrong with this switch. Huh. Huh. It's not the plate, but the switch isn't aligning with the PCB. And I feel like this is actually because the hole for the little feet, for this feet, isn't well placed. So instead of fiddling with the PCB, I'm going to be cutting off this little leg here. I'm going to try again. Shit. Yeah, still doesn't fit. What's going on here? Okay, different switch. Oh. Hope it's. I just really hope it's not the same problem. You can see. What I can try is remove both of the legs and see if that's where the tension came from. Maybe we had a little tension between these PCB mount holes and the... no, same issue. I think it's an issue where the contact oh wow, that is annoying. That's super annoying. Can you see that? Like I can push it together, but it's going to come out again. What's the hell? Yeah, let's try something. we're going to try and widen the cutout for the switch. Oh yeah, I think it's already a bit better. I think that the problem that we have here, I'm going to turn this one out for a moment. The problem that we have here is that this hole here is misplaced. I hope this doesn't give me cancer again. Oh yeah, much better already. Yep. The fuck. Yep. I wonder if I can still put in a switch with these PCB mount stems. No, same old problem, because they're also mismatching, misaligned. Let's try this again. Okay, we're now at a point where we can just kind of push it in. Well, that's super annoying. I hope it doesn't mess up the plate in that area. I'm gonna go straight to the point where I'm gonna come on, heat up. It went into standby. Maybe it's a plate issue. I mean, this is like the ISO switch, so this is probably the most likely switch to be messed up by someone who's not super involved with ISO layout. It might be that that it's actually the plate that's pushing here, and that it's not really the thing, the switch. Oh well. Never mind. Okay. First round done. So, next step. You can flip that off, turn that off for a moment. I will be getting rid of that fuming. Oh, well, almost missed one here. Just a little cutie. It's going in right here. There we go. Okay. Let's add some solder. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to be. Now I'll see how well my thumb is doing, because it is my push thumb. Ah, god damn it. Keep getting my head into the picture. So annoying. Oh, saw a little move there. Oh, another one. Not here. We had a little move there. I don't talk much when I'm concentrating on stuff. I'm also not a very talkative player when I play computer games. Which is why I shouldn't be doing Twitch or something like that. And to me, like, this is really the part where I want to make sure that every detail of this keyboard is going to be really good. I want every switch to have a perfect fit. Even though we already know that one of the switches is going to have a crappy fit because there's too much tension coming either from the plate or from the PCB. I'm a little unsure. Maybe it's a combination of both. But it's just like the little stepchild ISO key down there. Here we go again. Why did I reheat that one? It wasn't going to get any better. But yeah, who's going to complain about ISO layout if I don't? What I will be doing in a moment is I will be lowering the camera and see if we still get a nice frame like a nice look at my desk. If I lower the camera, there's, I think, less likelihood for me to get into the picture. Yep, much better. Okay, I'm going to be doing the rest of the soldering now. Maybe I just have to pay a little bit more attention to remain in this little box here when doing my streams, and you might get a better look at stuff I do. This is the part where you can relax. We're now just soldering the second pin, kind of finalizing our solder job, making sure that it's all working, going row by row again and not column by column. Column by column would make more sense, especially solder wise, since oh, I can move the solder here a little bit, since you could be like working down the solder as you go along, but the risk of missing a switch is much higher than if you go row by row, unless you do ortholinear, of course, where it doesn't matter, you have them both lined up horizontally and vertically. But in this case, the rows give you a much better lining up of the switches, and yeah, that's why I do it row by row. I don't want to miss any. I always do though, not always, but I think it's very common for me to miss one or two joints, soldering joints that is. Little snowflake key here. This down here is the ISO special key. we go. Almost done. Okay, there we go. Flip that off. Turn that off first. Gonna remove this. Even if you missed a couple of solder joints, I won't be needing the vent anymore. So, next step is testing all them switches. Oh, there we go. Back on track. Gonna pop up aqua tests and start going like this. Yep, here we go. Left, right, up, down, shift. Ah, nice predefined mapping here. Caps lock. Here we go. Oh, this one's not mapped yet. Ah, shut up. Space. Yeah, awesome. I think I got them all. Now it's time to put this little cutie into a case. Let's opening up this one, and just to show you the packaging. That's really well done. We've got the weight here. Come on. It's so funny. I've never like really handled a brass. I did handle a brass weight, but usually they're already screwed in, and I don't mess around with them. But this thing's really heavy. It's so funny how heavy this is. And here's the case. Ooh, polycarb. I think that's polycarb bottom. CNC polycarb. Goes right back. Here's my aluminium bottom. Aluminium or nothing. Yeah, the case design is really well done. Super cute. Here we go. Okay. Alright. Yeah, so I guess the plate is screwed into the top shell, and then the top shell is placed on the bottom shell and screwed into that. And oh, that's where the weight goes, thank God. Oh, okay, so they added another level here to make sure that the PCB and the assembly has enough space. We've got the switches here. Come on, no switchily doos. Couple of black switches. I guess they're for the for some sunk in screws. They are hex, and oh, they're all hex. Okay, that's cute. I like the look of hex screws. I love the feel of Torx screws, and I have to deal with Phillips head screws all the time. So there's that. I don't want to take the gloves off because I'm going to be handling this aluminium all the time, and I don't want fingerprints on it. So I'll just keep it on. I guess these are for the weight. Nice shiny metal ones. Going to go along well with the weight. Okay, the feet, I'm going to be doing that later. Huh. Where's my foamy stuff? Here we go. it's important to make sure, like, since this whole side of the plate is going to be resting on this this part of the case, I want to make sure that there's nothing on here, like pieces of flux or anything, because that might be ugly. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I am expecting that we will be using these Torx screws here. I hope it's 2.5 again. Like, why do I have a 2 and a 1.5 hex driver here? Yep, there we go. Drive it in. The plate mounting is, like, the mounting points for the plate mounting are superb. I couldn't be asking for better mounting points. Really nice in the corners. Another 3 mounting points distributed about the whole over the width of the case. This is really well done. Great job here. Very happy with this. It's going to be a very solid fit. I think this is the first kit that is mounted in this like, this is my first kit with a very solid top case that is just resting on a like relatively small bottom case. I know these have become quite popular recently because they just look very good. I'm not sure how great they actually handle, but we'll find out. I will find out. Okay, let's tighten them. Okay, so next step, keeping this flipped over, and oh wait, let me try. Oh no, the weight's going to be screwed in from the bottom. I think I can put these in afterwards, even though they look really fancy. Well, that is one shiny weight. Please be 2.5. Don't. See, now I remember why I have a hex 2 driver, but I don't remember why I have a hex 1.5 driver here. So the way I see it, we're going to be putting screws in from the side. Oh. Okay. These threads are a lot less smooth than the ones on the top case. Oh, these are very smooth once again. Okay, very nice. One of each screw is left. Now I have to apply the what you call it, rubber feet, the rubber feet bars, rubber bars for feet, rubbery rubbers. Okay, let's see how that goes. Oh, okay, that's really a shame. Like, I got two bottom cases. I have the polycarbonate bottom plate, bottom piece, and the aluminium bottom piece, and they only include a like a single set of these stick-on pieces. So I can't really switch these bottom pieces, which would perfectly like work out with the way it is designed. Okay, let's see. Probably wasn't the smartest approach. What I should be doing is putting in this one first, and then putting in the outer ones, and then yeah, and then. There we go. Okay, let's lose this. This can go. Well, this one. Go. So that is one shiny keyboard with a bezel, a nice corn-fed southern booty bezel we have here. I think I drooled a little over it. Okay, next up we're going to put some caps on, and we will be using as a Godspeed. Okay, I will be starting with the international kit. It's always like, kind of feel like it's a good idea to start with the international kit. Then we put the rest of the caps on, so we don't get surprised by like international caps that are sometimes included or not, sometimes not, and we don't have to throw them back. Okay. Well, I always obviously go for the fancy ISO enter. It is the most complicated and difficult key of the ISO tribe. So yeah, definitely want this one to be a highlight color. There we go. Oh, wait. Here's our little friend, the shift key. It's hopefully not going to be too crooked. Here comes the good old German fancy key for up there. And there we go. What else do we have? The big question is always, do we have tertiary legends or not? I don't think we do. Yeah, that means this is the German 2. This is the German 6. Oh, there's the German 7. Very nice. The 3, 4 and 5, I think identical to the English versions. And the 0. Crappiest cap in the German layout, the crapper. Okay, what else do we have? This one goes down here. It's the special snowflake key. This one goes up here. This one goes here. Oh yeah, well, you don't need to include the German Z from the quartz in this in the SA profile, because it is pretty much like this is a row 2 Z from the German layout, but if you just flip it 180, it's a row 4 Z from the English layout. So I have 2 of those then. They're like, as long as you have like centered legends, and that's the case. Okay. Oh yeah, we had the spacebar before. Let's see if that works. It still works well. Nice and stocky. Yeah, those stabs are super stocky. Good. Nope. Nope. Oh, there we go. Not the scoop F. See, that's the same Z. Oh, there's a Q. And that's thankfully the L. Okay, there we go. Modifiers next. Okay, let's get started. Some really weird mods here. Finally, something that we can use. Wow, I didn't know there was that much fancy stuff in the standard mod kit of Godspeed. Come on. Okay, there we go. Okay, finally something. Tab, one of the most important keys of any layout, because it is the one key that you will always be using no matter what layout you choose. Well, there is hardly any modern layout that doesn't have the tab key. All the other modifiers, there's alternatives, but the tab key is the one that you always need. So sometimes you've got enough caps to fill 2 keyboards from one set, but then you realize, oh no, I'm missing the second tab key. One more thing I just realized. I was so excited. I'll just keep it there. I was so happy about it. Arrows, exactly. Left. This is right. Is it? This is. Nice profiling. Oh, that's down. Okay. Let's quickly go through the caps here. I'm not sure about these caps yet. Huh. I am sure about these though. I'm sure about this one. Yeah, it's gonna be my function key, but I want it to look like a control key. See, we have it. There we have our shift. Okay, this is very nice. I am going to be needing some special keys now for this row, for this part here. Call this one FN. And I hope we have a, oh, that's nice, page 1 for here. I just hope we have a row 1 delete. Yes, row 3 page down. There we go. Okay, never mind then. We need a novelty key then. I need a key for that one. That's probably the point where you want to change channel. Doesn't get any better now because now I want to get this right, and damn it. can't believe I don't have a keycap holder. No. Ah. I'm such a failure. Okay, next. Gotta find a row 3 page up now. Oh wow, it is actually existing. I can't believe it. Then I can move my delete button here. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so much better now. So going up here. And then I can put some crazy button up in that corner. I actually do use the print screen button frequently, so yeah, thank you for sticking through this with me, if you did, because that was one hell of a ride to get these caps right. God damn it, I had no idea. Yeah, well, quite a nice build, pretty straightforward. Kind of messed up plate or PCB here, I don't know. The switches. The switches actually feel pretty nice. Don't you also think it sounds nice and thocky? The lube definitely helps. And I just love this cherry switch housings. Yeah. Hello, cherry switch housings. Tons of typos. Yeah, that little one cheers me up. Little dolphin. Yeah, pretty straightforward build. One hell of a bezel. I think it looks quite nice with the SA Godspeed caps. They kind of need a bezel, I think. Color wise, the caps don't go well with the brass plate, but I don't care. It's a super good looking keyboard, but definitely one that was designed, like the keyboard was designed to look good. And actually, so far, first impressions also does feel good. But I think I will be having trouble using this with my roller mouse, because I will get like this bezel is going to hurt me, because it's going to move the roller bar this much further away, like this much further away from where I would expect it to be, and kind of make me stretch my thumbs for the roller mouse thingy buttons and roller bar. Apart from that, I'm glad to be back online, and hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you did enjoy the new angle. I'm still a bit torn about it. I don't like having my head in the picture all the time. Yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts on this. Thanks very much for watching. It's been a lot of fun.